Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Eddie Jennings from ejsllc.com. This video is going to be another in my RHCE practice session series where I am preparing for the Red Hat Certified Engineer exam. Before I dive in, I want to thank returning subscribers for watching another video, as well as invite everyone who's watching, if you haven't subscribed yet, to click that subscribe button and ring the bell when you do so you can be notified of when new content comes available. Also, if you enjoy this video or find it useful, make sure you click the like button and feel free to share with others that might find it useful as well. So in this video, we're going to do the last of the objectives within the Configure Ansible Managed Nodes section, and that is validate a working configuration using ad hoc Ansible commands. Before I do, I want to remind you that this is not intended to be authoritative information, nor is it intended to be a tutorial, but rather it's an opportunity for me to go over whatever the objective at hand is and do a self-assessment to see if I'm ready to handle tasks about that objective for the exam. Ideally, the answer to that is going to be yes, but if not, then I take note of it and I have a couple of weeks left of preparation for the exam to where I can go over some of these knowledge gaps. That being said, I do try to have the information as accurate as possible. Now this is going to be a relatively short video because all we have to do is validate a working configuration with Ansible ad hoc commands. And we did this a little bit at the end of the last one, but for all these objectives, I'm trying to make, a video dedicated to each, or there are some that might take a couple of videos. So I have my Ansible control node. I've already SU'd into my Ansible account. I did make a small change to my lab. I blew away the Fedora VMs because I don't need them anymore since I've already went over the parallelism piece. So all I need is the normal 4 that I have. So if you've done all your stuff with Ansible, you've set up SSH, you have set up your passwd, or not passwd, but you set up your sudo access. A couple of easy ways to verify that everything is actually going to work for you are with using the Ansible ad hoc commands. And so one of the first ones I like using for this would be the ping command. So if I were to do Ansible all ping, so this is going to ping every one of the servers that's within the inventory, and we get successes. Now what this would test is if you do not have SSH key configuration set up, then you would get errors that it can't connect. Now, that's not necessarily a problem if you don't intend to do key-based authentication. You can pass it the lowercase k flag and then put in your SSH credentials, but I would imagine that on the exam they're going to want us to have whatever environment that we're working with set up with key-based authentication, and an easy way to test to see if that's functioning is through the ping command. Another thing that we can do for this is run any I guess it would be the command module is what you're doing, but run any command that needs sudo privileges or would require the -b to do. So let's try one of these real quick. And this I think is going to fail, and that's kind of by design. So Ansible all, technically it would be module command and then A for the arguments, but if you leave out module command and just give arguments, it basically does it as the command module. One difference between that module and the shell module is the command module is literally just running commands. The shell would actually function within your environment with environment variables and all that kind of stuff. But what I want to do is Ansible all, I'm just going to sudo hostname. And what that should return is the host name of the VM, and I'm not going to do -b. I'm curious to see if this would work. So it actually did. Okay, I see. So what this is going to do is, since I'm doing sudo hostname, it's actually doing exactly what I tell it to do versus needing to do -b for become. So let's configure one of these nodes to where it's basically going to be broken. So let's SSH Ansible, or we don't have to say Ansible because we're already as that user. labrel an04, and let us go into the etc sudoers.d. Of course can't do that. Sudo, basically we're going to remove our sudo privileges for this. So let's do sudo rm etc sudoers.d, and I think we just had a file called Ansible. All right, and so that's gone. Let's exit. And let's try this command again. Let's see what's going to happen. All right, so I waited a few seconds and it looked like it's broken. All right, let's try this. So I'm not going to do sudo hostname. I'm simply going to do -b, and let's see what happens here. Okay, so that would be a better way to test it, just to test doing any command with -b. Notice it says it failed with missing sudo password. So what that tells us is that that we don't have the correct privilege escalation set. Now, if I were to do this, well, actually I can't use a password because I remember we set up this account without actually having password authentication. So those will be a couple of ways of testing if you have a working configuration using ad hoc commands. One is the ping command, which that will again test whether or not you have SSH key based authentication set up. Also, it tests the availability of your nodes anyway. And another is by doing any command just with -b, and that will do a bit of a test of how you have your sudo privileges set up. So at last, we have a little short and sweet video. I hope you found this useful and hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure that you click like and feel free to share this with others. Thanks again for taking the time to watch. Thanks for those who have subscribed and are watching another video. And I, of course, invite everyone, if you haven't subscribed yet, to click that subscribe button and ring the bell. And I will see you the next time.